Movsar Evloev versus Nate Landwehr takes place this weekend on the main card of UFC Fight Night Vegas 16, Hermansson versus Vettori, and I can't wait for this one. I know I say I can't wait for all of them in my prediction videos, but this one with Nate the Train. Nate the Train! I need to say it every time. I don't care if my parents are in right now. I really don't. I need to get it out of my system every single time. And I also need to get my fans together here, if you do exist out there, fans. We need to make a petition, and everyone needs to get their signatures on it for Nate the Train to walk out to Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune. I think it would be a great thing. I don't know why no one's thought of this, but I think it would take his career to the next level, and he would really go down as one of those Mike Perry / Nico Price-esque memes of the MMA community. Yeah, they might never be champion, but still, we're always going to tune in to watch them fight, because I'm a huge fan of Nate the Train. No one's ever captivated me as much as he has in a couple of words that he did after his fight with Darren Elkins, and it was a great fight with Darren Elkins as well. But let's not forget that before that, it is Darren Elkins, but also he got KO'd by Herbert Burns pretty badly in the first round by a KO, vicious KO knee, right up the middle, straight on the button, put him out cold really badly, and I don't like that for Nate Landwehr at this point in his career, 32 years of age, taking that KO loss, especially when he's a volume and pressure guy. If you're an at-range guy like Israel Adesanya, a KO loss can't really mean too much to you, because your aim is to avoid shots anyway. But when you're a Nate Landwehr kind of guy, and you like the scrap, you like the brawl, and you like to come forward and land big shots and take one to give one, and your chin starts getting cracked here and there, it's a little bit of a different situation, because you can't just become the guy who scoots around on the outside. I do believe that Movsar Evloev is going to get the job done this weekend on the main card. I'm so glad that this fight is on the main card of this weekend, because the way they've been structuring their cards recently, Gian Villante versus Jake Collier is headlining the prelims over Ilia Topuria versus Damon Jackson. That's all I need to fucking say to show you how retarded the UFC card placement has been recently. But still, glad this is on the main card. Getting the spotlight it deserves. The winner of this one is definitely time for a ranked opponent. If it's Movsar Evloev, definitely. If it's Nate Landwehr, I could see them giving him one more in the meantime. But Movsar Evloev, the young up-and-comer, 26 years of age. I've done nothing but pick him his entire career, and he's made me a very happy man with my predictions. He beat Sung Woo Choi in his UFC debut, fought at M1 as well. Both of these guys M1 talents, which obviously produces a lot of great talents to the UFC. M1's one of my more respected MMA promotions outside of the UFC on the regional scene. Beat Enrique Barzola as well, did Evloev, and also beat Mike Grundy in his last performance. I like that he's staying a little bit more active, because it was a long time off between the Barzola and the Grundy performance, because he had a lot of fights cancelled and rescheduled. I like that he's got a bit of a decent turnaround. 4.5 months. It's not too quick. It's not too far apart. It's not at the far apart stage where you're going to get a little bit rusty. It's not too quick where you've taken too much damage in your last one, and it's not too quick where he can't learn some new skills in the meantime. I think it's a perfect amount of time off for him right now as a young up-and-comer, and I do believe he will go out there against Nate Landwehr and get the job done. I don't see Nate Landwehr out grappling him, and if that's the case, then it's going to be on the feet, and I'm going to go with Movsar Evloev getting the job done. Nate Landwehr's been KO'd. Evloev hasn't. Evloev's a dangerous guy on the feet. He doesn't invest a lot in all of his shots, and I feel like that volume style is going to work against a guy in Nate Landwehr, because he's constantly looking for a big telegraphed shot that he can counter very slickly, and I feel like when you're a volume guy, you almost take away the opportunity for counterattacks, because guys don't really know what to feint and what's not anymore, because when you don't put everything behind your shot, you don't telegraph as much, and the counter striker such as Nate Landwehr is not going to get reads the same way as he is with a blood-covered faced Darren Elkins swinging haymakers towards him, trying to look for the big punch to get the job done. I do believe that Evloev's going to win. Very, very dangerous opponent in Nate Landwehr. I do respect him very much so indeed. This one might be a little bit too much. But saying that, at M1, both of these guys went alongside each other. At M1, Nate Landwehr beat some really good guys, and that needs to be mentioned, because he started his career very late in his life, jumped straight in there against top talents, beat a guy who was 6-1 in Chris Wright in his second ever fight ever, beats a guy who was 6-1, then comes back against 9-4, 6-2, beat really good guys, 11-3, then goes to M1, challenge, was supposed to lose to all of these Russian prospects, Korobakov, 13-2 guy, beats him by KO in the second round. Kolesnik, 14-3, beats him by split decision. 10-1, Dalgiev was supposed to lose to him, beats him by TKO in the second round. Lezhnev, 18-7. I assume the tables are starting to turn at M1 now. They're starting to give Landwehr some more credit. Beats him, beats 16-4 Kolesnik. Like, he beats a lot of good guys, and that 16-4 guy that he beat by unanimous decision was one of his controversial split decisions on his record, so he redeemed himself there especially. But that loss to Herbert Burns rubs me the wrong way, because I think you need to be a guy who's going to grit down and put the pressure on Movsar Evloev the entire fight long. And once you start getting KO'd and you're that pressure guy, don't think you can pressure in the same way. Like, Colby Covington didn't really get KO'd against Usman. Like, he had his jaw broken. He got dropped twice, but he was still fighting back. And Usman rains down shots to the back of the head. And Goddard doesn't like Colby, so he just stops the fight ridiculously, even though we see other fights go on for much longer. I'm still salty about that stoppage. And I'm not going to ignore it just because people don't like Colby. There was a bad stoppage for the Colby versus Usman fight. But still, what was my point again? I got lost on Colby. Once the volume guy starts getting KO'd, I start worrying a little bit, because you've got to go forward into those shots, and if you can't take them, you can't use your style, and that's just how it works. And I feel like Evloev's going to give him enough consequences to make him worry about engaging, and also Evloev's got the takedowns to consider as well, because Nate Landwehr was taken down many a time by Darren Elkins in that fight, and I did not like that he was taken down by Darren Elkins, because Darren Elkins, if you're going to make a run in that featherweight division, don't be getting taken down by Darren Elkins at this point. He's an older man on his way out. That should have been a bit of an easier win for Nate Landwehr. I know a lot of people say that Nate Landwehr didn't win against Elkins. I disagree. He outlanded him in the second round 43-39, landed the better shots in the second round as well. In the third round, outlanded him 50-49, landed the better shots in the third round as well. I know it looked like a lot of them were missing, but they were touching him up. Nate Landwehr doesn't seem to have terrifying power against opponents, so I don't see him chinning Evloev out of nowhere. It's just a tough. I hate that this match was made, because I love Evloev as a prospect, but I just want Nate to train to succeed, man. You know what I mean? I want the train to keep going, because I don't know, it feels like it's going to end now. Evloev's really good. I reckon he'll win it by unanimous decision, edging out every single round. And as I said, Darren Elkins was able to take down Nate Landwehr a couple of times. I think one officially where he got a lot of control out of it, but a couple other minute takedowns as well where Landwehr technically touched the ground, but they don't really count them that way anymore. But still, if Elkins can get you down and get control time on you, then Evloev can as well if he needs to, as he showed against Enrique Barzola, where he started shooting for takedowns later on in the fight to secure himself the decision. I like the fight IQ that he showed there as well, because he was easily outstriking Barzola in the first two rounds. I mean, it was competitive, but he was outstriking Barzola in the first two rounds. Oh no, in the later two rounds, sorry. It was a very close fight between Evloev and Barzola, but that's what I'm saying here. Evloev had to go out there and close the distance of the scoring with his takedowns in that fight to make sure that he definitely won. And that's exactly what he did out there. I really like his style. I like his fight IQ. I like his awareness of those rounds against Barzola, where it was very close in certain rounds and he had to use his takedowns to get the advantage. I think he will get the job done against Nate Landwehr. This is the hardest fight of Landwehr's career. And it's not the hardest one of Evloev's. I mean, even the M1 guys that he's taken on, like Vitrik, 11-2, Nevzorov, 12-2, finished him with a head kick, 14-7, maybe not 14-7, but another 11-2 guy in Sergey Morozov, who's a very dangerous opponent, who's now fighting for the UFC, I believe. Am I wrong? Where do I know that name? Sergey Morozov. I swear he got signed to fight Umar or something. Sergey Morozov. Yeah, he's fighting Umar Nurmagomedov coming up soon. So that's a decent, respectable, current win right now. And he's bounced back since that loss to Movsar Evloev and beat really good guys. 6-0, 5-0, 16-4, 7-2. I mean, these are good guys that he's beaten and bounced back after the Evloev loss. That just really bent. I didn't even notice this. Yeah, that's a really good win to have on his resume right now. Sergey Morozov, early in his career, and Morozov has bounced back and looked as good as he has done, and now he's in the UFC against Umar, and I'll tell you, he's got a good chance against Umar. I think Umar's going to win, but, I mean, Morozov's dangerous, so that's a really good win for whatever his name is, Movsar Evloev. I think he'll get the job done, and also in the Mike Grundy fight, it just showed that there's no way out. Like, you're going to get outstruck by him. He's going to land good effective striking on the feet against you the majority of the time. And if you're trying to take him down, the takedown defense that he showed against Mike Grundy. Mike Grundy's a good grappler, man. I know he's from the UK, so people don't really credit him, but he's he's one of the few good credentialed grapplers out of the UK to transfer over to mixed martial arts. He had no chance against Evloev, man. Evloev was doing get-ups I've never seen before. Just rising upwards from the ground like it was nothing. I really like Evloev here. Good fight, though. And if the winner of this one wins in impressive enough fashion and doesn't make it a really boring fight, I could definitely see Evloev getting a ranked opponent next, or a guy like Grant Dawson, or something along those lines. I'll actually check the featherweight rankings right now, or one of them fights Ryan Hall, because Ryan Hall's busy fucking calling out Aldo and Edgar, who aren't even in his division, Moicano, who isn't in his division, and Ige just before Ige gets offered Qatar and then acts like everyone's ducking him. Call out someone on your level, Ryan Hall. Stop calling out top dogs. You ain't earned it. You beat BJ Penn and Darren Elkins. Welcome to the Nate Landwehr club. You know what I mean? Like, he also beat Darren Elkins. And he didn't even beat Darren Elkins that impressively either. Like, he did good. But come on, dude. Fuck off, Ryan Hall. I like Ryan Hall, though, man. He seems like a nice guy. And I'd get along with him. You know, a little bit blinky. But he seems like he's got a good sense of humour. And I do like him. I do like him very much so indeed. But I have some realistic call-outs right now. It's very obvious that these top 5 guys are not going to take you on because they're looking for other top 5 guys. So, look at the winner of this one. Evloev versus Landwehr. I think it'll be a good one. And I think if Landwehr wins, Ryan Hall will probably beat him quite easily. And if Evloev wins, I wouldn't be surprised if Evloev beats Ryan Hall, in all honesty. Dangerous contenders right now in that division. Really looking forward to the fight this weekend. And I'm so glad it got put on the main card to get the spotlight that it deserves. And the loser of this one, I guess, could maybe take on Omar Morales, who failed his featherweight fight against Giga Chikadze not that long ago. If he's thinking of staying at featherweight, I know he's fought at lightweight before as well. But if you think, I don't even know if it was Omar Morales, but it might have been. I think it was Omar Morales. It was Omar Morales. I don't know what I'm talking about, but good fight this weekend. Looking forward to it. Pay attention to this one, because if Evloev wins impressively as well against a guy like Nate Landwehr, like, fair enough, Burns got the flash KO, but if Evloev does what Evloev does, which is win every round most of the time, 30-27, which I think he's going to do, then I'm really impressed with him, and I think he's going to be a huge problem. So I'm looking forward to his rise. Like and subscribe. Click that button over there. Ready for that island. I like Nate the Train, man. But he's going to die. Goodbye.